Dear devotees, here we are with our live translator, Hari Gopal Prabhu, into Russian, and maybe in a moment or two we'll have, yes, Chaitanya Moy already with us. Chaitanya Moy, yes, translator into Portuguese. And some of our Portuguese section are at the airport now in Heathrow Airport, checking in for their flight back across the North Atlantic, South Atlantic to Sao Paulo Sao Paulo, then Uberlandia in Brazil, means Anu Krishna Devirasi. She is with us, not with us just now, but happy to see you all. Shantimoy Devirasi in Italy, our Italy connection on the Monday Zoom. And Latvia connection, St. Petersburg connection, Russia connection, America connection, Israel connection, and Italy connection also. Adana Mohini Devirasi, Vila Govinda Ashram, Brazil, Brajarama Devirasi, Nazar, Udaran Prabhu, Malati Priya, Brazil, and Malati Priya, Devirasi, and Leela Sundar Prabhu, always very still like a good yogi. Hare Krishna, Leela Sundar Prabhu. And Rasamoy, he just joined us from Brazil. And Suyash Krishna Prabhu, Suyash Krishna in Mauritius. Welcome, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. And Prabhu in Croatia probably joined us, and Kamala in USA East Coast. Anyhow, devotees are joining, and very happily seeing each of you one by one by one. And we need to, each of us, make sure we have the right language selected in the Maharaj. Check your connection. Hari Gopal says it seems to be good. It should be good. Yes, good for me too. So Chaitanya Moiriri somehow, it's good now, okay. We've closed the door so that Zoom doesn't have to filter out the aeroplanes so much. It may be an aeroplane was passing over. All right, so dear devotees, let us begin, as we should always, with something auspicious. So we'll begin with God is good. Jai. And we'll begin with Vandanam, mini Vandanam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathan Vitam Tang Sajivam Sarvetam Savarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitanscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvije Namaha Vansha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So dear devotees, the title that has been given to us, theme that to start us off today, is grateful to be of service. And so I am grateful to be here and hope to be of service to you all. And we are all engaged in hoping to satisfy our masters in service by sharing Hari Katha. It's Matchita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. In in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the second of the Chatushloki, the 4 seed verses of Bhagavad Gita, then Srila Guru Maharaj in the sermons of the Guardian of Devotion. Am I correct or am I incorrect? We were reading this morning from, let me just take a quick look. Anyway, yes, Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion. I'm pretty sure it was Srila Guru Maharaj who was saying that this verse is referring to devotees of the equivalent nature, equivalent standard. They share with each other their realizations, their thoughts, and bouncing back the discussions about that means their thoughts about Krishna, of course, and Krishna consciousness. And so by sharing these discussions of the glorification of Krishna, then everyone is mutually helping each other. And so it is a service to try to please our masters by doing what we understand they wish from us all. And from us all, they wish that we will come together and share topics about Krishna, hear about Krishna, and render service where we can to the Vaishnavas, to the ashrams, to the Lord, and to the Lord through the deity form, through the picture form, through the name form. And I don't know about you, but before I got initiation, then I was very eager, knowing that really we need that connection from above. We need the upward connection for everything to be solidly service. That is the acceptance. Krishna is accepting the fallen souls, the students, by the way of his arrangement through Vaishnava, in particular, through the Guru. And so I remember being very eager for initiation, but Srila Guru Maharaj saying, wait, and not saying no, but saying, wait for some time. And then I remember one day, Srila Guru Maharaj sent a devotee to call for me and to come up. Guru Maharaj would like to see you. So went up to Guru Maharaj, and Srila Guru Maharaj explained. He said, I'm giving initiation this morning to one devotee, and I can also give to you today. Or after perhaps 4 or 5 days, there was a special day, and I'm not sure what that special day was. I'm sure Guru Maharaj explained it to me, like a day when several devotees would be taking initiation. But Guru Maharaj asked me, so would you like to receive today or wait until that special day? And there was no question in my mind. Immediately I answered to Gurudev, then Guru Maharaj, if you're offering today, like today. And I just thought, with my karma, anything can happen over the next 4 days. And here we have the opportunity. Guru Maharaj is offering. Just now I can give initiation. And then it was no question about it. And so, oh, Guru Maharaj, if you give today, then, and then immediately went off, got ready, and came back to Srila Guru Maharaj. But we need to sometimes remember our early days so as to appreciate the connection that we have got, to be thankful, to be grateful that we've been accepted and that we have a service connection. And so chanting the holy name is service. It is not something in addition to washing the pots and doing whatever thing, building the temple, doing art, doing puja, so many things. The chanting of the holy name is service. But it does all come back down to the consciousness in which we do everything. But when we consider that our duty as students is to do what the spiritual master says, and the spiritual master is giving us the beads and telling us to chant in this way, and saying to us to chant every day, do not let the beads fast, all these expressions, then we will take it to heart and see that this is service. It is what they've asked from us. So seva, 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 seva is life-giving. Seva means service. It's a Sanskrit word for service. And of course, not just serving wicked and miserly people, as we've got in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Sharanagati books. When we are not serving Krishna in this world, we're serving wicked and miserly people who are looking after their own interests and not Krishna's interests. But service to the devotees is the very way to please the Lord. And any connection that we have, any hint of what is pleasing them, what I should do to please them, then we will try to take that on our head and do that, and not just have knowledge of this is service or that is service. And we need to actually pray for that connection. And before we get any connection, I think almost every devotee, praying to the Lord to please give shelter. We're wanting shelter. So once we have got some shelter, we must not take it for granted and think, I've signed my name in a society or in a register somewhere. But it is the bond of service, but the bond of affectionate service. We want to be good students and want to please our masters by doing what they say, and not like pulling teeth, for doing anything and everything. That's, better that we spend our time in the temple reluctantly, I suppose, to come and on a Sunday afternoon, whatever it is, come and help. Better to do that than go down with the boys and girls and do all wrong things in the city. But, better still is to appreciate our connection to the above world. Now, I did have a little bit of browsing and looking earlier on today for what is good quote about gratefulness and service. And just in the book Revealed Truth, I've got, I think, 365 hits, as they say, results for the word service. So if we mention one of these every day, then that'll be 1 year, won't it? 1 year and a day, 365 hits just in revealed truth of the word service. So if we think about each of those mentions, we have a whole year, 1 a day, to think service, service, service. It is very important. And what is sadhu sangha, which is all important, and we read from sermons of the Guardian of Devotion that the books, they have their value, but the ultimate value, the ultimate necessity is sadhu sangha, association with the devotees. And what is this association? It is service. And this is all explained by Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. So to have any service connection, to have any glance from the upper world to us in a favorable way through our service and service connection, it is a great fortune. And if we are not grateful for that, we need to sort of wake ourselves up to be grateful, because it's not something to be taken for granted. And yesterday we went for sadhu sangha, walk and talk. We went for a walk and talk yesterday. But you see, everybody's walking and talking, and there's so many tourists. And we went to Windsor Castle, and the king was at home. The flag was flying high. So as you can guess, we're in London. But we went to Windsor Castle, not inside, but outside. And a beautiful day. But, I know English, so I know what people are, you can overhear what people are talking about. And we also heard some very spontaneous English expressions and all sorts of things from people. So we know what people are saying, and they're not talking about Krishna, by the way. So we are very grateful to be able to have an opportunity to be with like-minded persons and to discuss the necessity of engaging 24 hours a day in some service activity. So anyway, on the usual URL, then Chaitanya Moy and Hari Gopal Prabhu, I did put some excerpts, and actually I've got the excerpts from Srila Guru Maharaj. Then when I went to, that's when I went to search in just in Revealed Truth from Srila Gurudev, and I was so overwhelmed going through, the services. I just thought, well, the whole book, but we can't read the whole book in a day, can we? So from Centenary Anthology, it's a short quote. It's okay, 2 paragraphs and a quote in the middle. No, it's 3 paragraphs, but first paragraph very short. It's not long, but it's Srila Guru Maharaj, and he's helping us to understand always, as is Gurudev, of course, helping us to understand our proper mood, our healthy mood. And we need to be taught how to think, what to do, etc. So from Centenary Anthology, the excerpt number 1 in that URL for the translators, Srila Guru Maharaj. So Srila Bhakti Rokha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj, he joined, and of course Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, he joined. So I'm reading Srila Guru Maharaj's words. Whatever little help we will receive from anyone, we must be grateful to them. A person with good temperament must be thankful to all. Receiving even slight help, he will feel, yes, I am very much thankful for your guidance. We are to learn the theory and science of gratitude. We will think, I am grateful to you and to everyone in the environment. So that's what we shall think, and Srila Guru Maharaj explaining. The very domain is of that character. Everyone thinks himself to be a thief. So this is the pure domain that Srila Guru Maharaj is referring to. Everyone thinks himself to be a thief, thinking, I am a trespasser. Only by the grace of the environment can I have a position here. They are all well-wishers, except for myself. This should be the temperament. He will be busy and sometimes forgetful of himself in the intensity of his service. Vaikuntara Prithivyadi Sakala Chinmoy from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And again, Srila Guru Maharaj saying, we are to think the environment of that land in which I aspire to live is made of better stuff than I am. So we are to enter into a super subjective domain. The attitude of all the newly recruited persons there should be, I am not of subjective character. I am of marginal potency, tatashta. But I am receiving permission to enter the super subjective area where everything holds a higher position than myself. Everyone there is of that consciousness. They feel the air, the earth, the trees, etc., all hold a higher position than myself. But still I have been given permission by the supreme authority to wander here. Only I have been given some service, and I am eager to render that service to this land. And with this attitude in the background, one should live there. And in the foreground, one will become accustomed to discharging his particular duty. I have come and I am treading on a soil whose intrinsic value is really superior. Hare Krishna. I mean, so wonderful. And here's a second excerpt. It's from a different place in Sri Guru and His Grace. This one is very short. But again, Srila Guru Maharaj saying, I am thankful to those who are helping my spiritual understanding, not only in a formal way, but in the real sense. Whoever is untying the knots of our entanglement in this material world, giving us light and quenching our thirst for inner understanding and satisfaction, is our Guru. So whoever is untying those knots and doing those things, he is our Guru. In this way, we live on the contribution of all these spiritual masters. They are all our Siksha Gurus, the instructing masters. All the Vaishnavas are more or less our instructing spiritual masters. Our spiritual life may live on their contribution. But then Guru Maharaj saying, but we do not accept the imitationists. They are our enemies, asat sangha, bad association. They will take us away from the real path of understanding and progress. Hare Krishna. Anyway, as always, I do have more in the way of quotes, but I think for reading, this is getting us on the right track. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. And I'm happy to look through the names also and to see Kiran Patel here with us. He's been coming each evening to the temple, but today, oh, you might think, we are looking very lonely. We are looking very lonely here in the London temple. There's a good reason for that. We are very lonely in the London temple because everyone's gone they've gone partying to the Notting Hill Carnival, which is like the famous, is it the Rio Carnival, something like that in Brazil? But it's in Notting Hill in London. And I've been twice before. And I'm very grateful that there is the Monday Zoom. So I have a good reason to be in the temple this time, because it is quite a crazy carnival. And anyhow, the devotees, they've sent me some video clips, but maybe, anyway, I have evidence that they are there, and they are doing the kirtan and everything loudly and enthusiastically. They took all our mridangas. We came to do the evening aarti just a few minutes before the Monday program. They took all the mridangas. They left us one pair of kartals and one gong. And so anyway, they're enthusiastically spreading the holy name. And I saw, not in such a noisy place in the Notting Hill Carnival, at least not up until just before the aarti, but it's now coming into the evening where more and more people gather. And it will be noisy, no doubt, from others. Anyway, so the temple here, while we are sitting peacefully with you, the devotees, they almost all, except the minimum crew for the cooking for Mahaprabhu and the worship of Mahaprabhu, and ourselves, we are here in the temple. And we had also guests come. But anyway, as I mentioned, seeing Kiran and I think Shishi, I saw just now. I think Shishi is one of the guests who come to the temple here. I may be wrong. I don't know everyone's name, but this is my few words to get us started today. And I see that the most devotees gathered in one place today, in a window that's open at least, is in Vila Govinda Ashram. Right. And so we can ask, and Vila Govinda Ashram always know that if you come in front of the camera, you've always got to have something in your pocket to share. And all of them are very shareable persons. Chinmoy Devu, Madhurananda Prabhu, Rasarati Devi Rasi, and seated in the chair, and always, all with something to share, but always with something to share to Kumkum Devi Rasi. And I think it was Ananda Leela from Brazil, who she heard some expression from you, Kumkum Devi, in one of the last Zooms. And oh, Kumkum, she struck my heart in devotional service. I mean, we don't know what we say. I mean, we don't know what effect what we say has. And very often, there are things which we sort of say in passing. You know, however simple we may think, it's just like a side note. But sometimes it's those side notes that strike the heart of the devotees. So we share, and it's up to Krishna, the result. So Kumkum Devi Dasi, you may have to speak a little loud, I'm not sure, because I don't see any microphones attached to any.
There's a spaceship-looking microphone. Can you hear?
Very loud. Good.
Okay, and my Dandavat Maharaj, all of the devotees, my Dandavat, it's so sweet. And actually, you just brought up one reason that we become happy trying to be a servitor is because people start to see us as servitors or Vaishnavas, and this is astounding. So we can't ignore the fact that we benefit in every way. Our hearts become so contented, and it's exact opposite of the way we're trained to be in this world. Naturally, and everything that's offered to us is for us to be the topmost. And in a big corporation, there's only one chief executive officer, and then everybody comes down from that. If it's a very large place, then our position is very tiny, but we're always thinking how to become higher, and it's never going to be satisfying. So actually, when we hear, like you were just speaking, that our constitutional position is that of the servitor, and this is higher. And one thing that always makes me enlivened is I love to read these particular words exact from Srila Gurudev because from Srila Guru Maharaj, because his prose even is just like poetry. It's so beautiful. And this particular point is from the intro to Shri Guru and His Grace. And Guru Maharaj is pointing out, a bona fide disciple must always remain fully awake to the fact that his highest spiritual fortune is but a gracious grant from the absolute Lord, and not a matter of right to be demanded or fought out. Constitutionally, we are equipped only to be proper recipients of God's favor. Whenever I hear this, it always helps me to set my mind correctly. This will be the position where I feel everything is right. I don't need to be concerned about, do I have good karma or bad karma, anything like that. It's just that I'm in the proper consciousness. If I can remember, this is his gracious grant. And I actually was trying to find this, and I looked in Srila Prabhupada's words also. This particular phrase is that inherent to me, that I've heard this from, it seems like time immemorial, this good and kind reminder of this is how we can go about and be extremely happy. And he then explains a lot about how different we are from the absolute. And he ends up saying, such a relationship is constant and really wholesome for the jiva. So it lasts forever. It's never going to change, so that I found a different religion or something where they assert that I also will become God, or at least a demigod. No, that's never going. This conception of we have this gracious grant from our guru to be reminded of where we fit in and what is reality is constant, and it's really wholesome. And the other day I was looking for, I was wondering, what shall I do there? We're in between festivals right now, so the number of devotees that you see is smaller than usual in Velagovinda. And I looked around for a moment, and then I was also doing a little bit of cleanup, and I found one spot where somebody had spilled when they were putting something into the trash can. And I felt so delighted. I can clean that. So my nature would be to see fault and criticize them. But actually, the environment here is so good a reminder that service, if I can get some service, I can be the servant of somebody, some devotee who was rushed or looking at something else. So this happened, and now this service came to me. This is startling that my mind can be behaving properly for a moment at least.
I wish my mind can follow in your mind's footsteps. Hare Krishna, yes, beautifully, beautifully expressed. Chinmoy Dev Prabhu.
Is there a theme?
Yes.
Hmm.
Grateful to be of service.
Oh, grateful to be of service. Yeah. Yes, grateful, not only grateful, but joyful to be of service, because this is the nature of the Jiva soul. Jivera Swarupa, Hare Krishna Das. That is what gives us most satisfaction, most fulfillment. And we actually can see this even in the mundane life, material life. We can see that if you love someone and you give something that that person loves, they receive some enjoyment, but actually seeing the joy in their face, you receive more enjoyment. Mm. It's more pleasurable for you, for your beloved, to be happy by the gift that you give, making them happy, than what they receive from receiving that gift. So this is the nature of the Jiva soul, is that the giving gives more pleasure. And this is actually the very unique conception of Krishna consciousness. Because all other religious conceptions, God is number one. And everybody worships God, and nobody is superior to God. This is, every other religion is like this. God is number one. He's at the top. We all worship him. He is the most superior. Gaudiya Vaishnavism. God is okay. We worship God. Who is superior to God? The servitor of God. Completely unique. I've never seen anywhere this conception. That the servitor of God actually has the higher position than God himself. This is Raghunath Das Goswami saying, I don't want the mercy of Krishna. You know, that demon killer. I don't want his mercy. I don't want to have a connection with him unless it comes through Srimati Radharani. Unless it comes through the servitor. So the servitor becomes the object of our worship. And Krishna, he's also there. But our focus is on Guru, is on Vaishnava, is on the servitor of the servitor of the servitor. That's where our position will be. That's where we'll receive the most satisfaction. And through that, Krishna will reveal himself to us. And then we will be experiencing Prem, divine love of Godhead, a divine loving relationship with the Lord as master and servant. And so, this is very contrary to what we see in this material world, where we all want to be master and we want everything to be our servant. So this fundamental change has to occur in our heart. This dynamic change that we are not the master, but we are the servitor. And so this process is what we're trying to do through our sadhana, through our association. This is what's given in the scriptures, was given by our gurus. And that through this association, through our daily practices, that we will purify ourselves of our mind, our material intelligence, and our false ego. And we will have a divine and direct relationship with the Lord. And I just recently read somewhere, I can't remember what it was, but it was very interesting. It's either Gurudev or Guru Maharaj, how they were saying that there's only like a little thing that separates us from Krishna. Krishna is very near to us, very more near than we can know. In fact, Krishna has more love for us than we even have for ourselves. And he is very near to us. There's only one thing that separates us from Krishna, and that is a mountain of ego. So besides this giant mountain of ego that we have, Krishna is so close to us, so very near. And all we have to do is just slowly pick away at that mountain, day after day, find some way where we can just remove a little bit of that false ego and try to dedicate our lives to serving the Lord, to serving Guru, Vaishnava, Gauranga. And so I just pray that with all your association, you will be merciful to me. You will always try to give me some engagement. Srila Govinda Maharaj liked that we were useful, that we were always engaged in some way. And so sometimes I think of this as like a tool, that we want to be a tool for our guru. And not only like a tool that like gets put in the corner and never used, but a tool that is very handy. We want to make ourselves a Swiss Army knife of divine service. So if Guru says, I need a knife, Guru, I have a knife. Guru says, I need a screwdriver. Guru, I have a screwdriver. Guru says, I need a corkscrew. Guru, I have a corkscrew. So in this way, we want to say, whatever is necessary, whatever the need is, we will be willing to do that. We will be ready to do that. And if we have that firm faith that everything is coming from Krishna, and we are trying to dedicate ourselves to serving Krishna, then the capacity will come. That will naturally come. And I have seen this many times. People you think, could not do what they did. And somehow, by miraculous circumstances, everything works out. Bila Govinda is a very wonderful example. 5 people, day in, day out, serving the Lord, and miracle. Srila Swami Maharaj, by himself, miracle. And in fact, I just was listening to Srila Sridhar Maharaj saying this at the Chandrodaya Mayapur temple, the opening of the Chandrodaya Mayapur temple. What he has done is a miracle. So through the Lord, through his agents, we are trying to serve, and I'm hoping that I can continue to serve. And if I stray, you please pull on my leash and keep me near. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj. And I just want to say to everyone who's listening, because maybe everyone doesn't know Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, but really I am hearing Chinmoy Dev Prabhu's talk, what he's saying just now. and he's very accurately and very similar way presenting what Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev are giving. And so very good to hear from Chinmoy Dev.
Guru Maharaj, my goal is to be a parrot.
To be a parrot. Well,
Yes. Yes, to be a parrot. Whatever Guru Maharaj and Gurudev is saying, that's what I want to propagate.
okay, well, you're doing a very good job fulfilling your goal, how you are thinking of it, but we are feeling Gurudev and Guru Maharaj coming through. So you're being more than a parrot, you're being a transmitter from the main broadcasting station, as it were, something like this. But anyway, we really very happy to hear you, and we can hear Gurudev saying and Guru Maharaj saying various parts of what you are saying, practically word for word. And Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, he's been, well, personally serving Srila Guru Maharaj in Guru Maharaj's later years, manifest here. And for years, he's been putting the transcripts, subtitles on videos of Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, which are very helpful for the devotees. And by absorbing oneself in hearing and having to get everything right, it takes also a lot of attention. And by that, some parts you have to hear again and again. And so this is also helping that message go inside, plus doing what Guru Maharaj and Gurudev are saying, engaging in service. So anyhow, Chinmoy Dev, we're very happily hearing from you. And your humility, this morning a question came in our reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the question came that Sanatana Goswami, after receiving instruction from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he, how often the verse says, takes trina, Dante trina, taking in his teeth a blade of grass. But today, I forget the exact word, maybe gucce or something like this, a word which means, we saw in the translation, means a clump of straw between his teeth. And one devotee asked me this morning when we're reading, how could Sanatana Goswami speak to Mahaprabhu with a straw between his teeth? But immediately when we see the purport which is there, or how Srila Prabhupada gives the purport within the translation very often, some idea. And he said, was perhaps said figuratively speaking, or what the exact word, but like this figuratively speaking, taking a very humble position. But this wasn't just one straw, but a whole one. So anyway, Prabhu, very much appreciate and very much appreciated hearing all of these topics. And Rasarati Devi Rasi, yes, Madhusudan, don't run away. We're going to ask you in a moment. I don't know who the Pujari, but Rasarati Devi Rasi, she may run away. She's near the door, so we'll try to.
So, Dandavat, Maharaj, Dandavat, all the devotee. And so maybe I can share something. Just this morning, I was Pujari, and there were some necklace like in the wrong position, no? And Shantimoi told me, in this shape of the Lord, they depends on us, no? Because we have to take care of how they, maybe something is
Driver update.
how they look like, no?
No.
Oh, I can continue. And sorry, something is going on the screen.
Okay, we can hear you clearly. There's no interruption on our side.
So I was thinking how fortunate I am that the Lord is the supreme personality of God that is coming in this shape, and we can do some service for them. Is like for me incredible, and I'm very also grateful that there are all the rules and regulations, because so I know that I can do the service in the way that can be appreciated. Maybe And it's inconceivable, this kind of mercy, because yeah, we are very how to say, conditioned soul, no? So how is possible to serve the Lord, no? But He's coming in this shape, and it depends on us in this shape. So it's very incredible. And so I think that yeah, we have to be grateful to have the possibility to serve. So it's like, I think, a mercy of the Lord, this possibility that we have. And yeah, so it's inconceivable, again I say. And yeah, also I think that services also means also being in harmony with the environment, no? Because sometimes if I think that I do this because will be good for so this person or for this reason, but maybe we are not considering the environment or the situation, and maybe we think to do something that is service, but it's not service if someone is not like requiring, or is not in harmony with the situation, no? So it's also not easy to see what is seva and what is only your mind thinking that maybe it's good, but it's not seva, no? Because if it's not in harmony with what is around, it's just following your own will, that is not service. Following your own will. And so yeah, this is my reflection. Thank you.
Right, and the rules and regulations have been given by those who know how to serve. So we're not like pretending or inventing something when we're doing the worship of the deity, etc. We're following a particular way where we know this is how the Lord likes to be served. And day by day in what we do, Srila Guru Maharaj always wanted that we will be serving under the direction of someone, so that there is some coordination. And so that way we can just check, is this right to do or not right to do. Some things are obvious, but some things, as you said, we may think something is service, but it isn't. And Madhurananda Prabhu and Shanti Devi, they know 1 year you planted some plants between the paving stones, right? I think you planted something between the paving stones. Anyhow, they planted some plants, which I thought was between the paving stones, and then a devotee comes and they think, oh, I'll do some weeding, and they weeded out all the actual plants. So, it is good to just have a little check first. Jai. Madhurananda Prabhu, thank you for staying.
I'm staying. I don't escape, but I cannot speak, Maharaj. I'm sorry.
What does your T-shirt say today?
No, it's Govinda Mela.
Govinda Mela
2018.
2018. Oh my goodness, that's going to have historic value. It'll go up in
price.
Was
the first Govinda Mela. The first Govinda Mela, Shri Govinda Mela, yeah.
All right. Hare Krishna. Any question from anybody anywhere? You can put up a hand, or you can put the chat in the chat box. Ganga Leela Devi Rasi opened her microphone. Oh no, she didn't open the microphone, but I saw your hand. Oh, you did open the microphone, yes.
Yes. Maharaj, so is it, if I'm not living in the ashram, I don't have like a minute-to-minute guidance, obviously. I do have definitely some guidance, but for example, as a householder, is my job considered as a seva? Because I'm kind of telling myself that to make myself feel really more, so I can keep my spiritual jacket on out there in the bad word where I need to wear something, But yeah, that's my question. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And the answer, many of you know what I'm about to answer, and maybe you do also. You see Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's guidance in Sharanagati and how he is showing how the family, the house, the domestic animals, the servants, all these things. I know you've got lots of servants and lots of domestic animals. How all of these, they are to be seen as Krishna's, not our own. And not only pretending, but actually know that they're Krishna's, not our own. And we will run our household knowing it is Krishna's. And so it is the change of consciousness which is so much required. And we saw, maybe you saw too, the black and white Srila Prabhupada movie recently, which was actually Krishna Kanta did it from Italy, recommended it. And that movie, Srila Prabhupada, there he's taking some questions and answering, and he's saying about where we are. He's sitting in an ashram somewhere. This is made of bricks. This is, it's basically externally looks like a house, but it's a temple because the Lord is worshipped. The Lord is at the center. Everything's for the Lord. This next door house looks the same. It's made of bricks, all these things, but it's a home, not a temple, because the Lord is not at the center. The senses, the individual interest is at the center. So we need to make our homes into temples. And it's not a question of breaking the roof and building a dome on the top. It's a question of the consciousness of how the household is run. And we've got more than a hint. We've got an ocean of guidance for really how to behave, what to do. And because we've got all these books in our own language that we can understand, which are a record of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada's guidance, we can be sure we've got plenty to guide us 25 hours a day. And if nothing else, any empty space, and we think, oh, what can I do now? Don't forget, there is a very wonderful mantra. In fact, it's the very, very best mantra. It's called the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And so that, to chant the holy name of the Lord, is seva. So yes, continue happily. And Leelavati did it, she's put in chat, but it's all in Russian. Oh. Okay, there we are. We appreciate that you're able to give all that feedback, because this is indeed the answer and what is required. That is a playlist on YouTube. Try. And by the way, we were today discussing, and for Latvia, there we want to give in Latvian and Lithuanian, we want to share Guru Maharaj's and Gurudev's videos with the captions. And Nazar showed us how to do automatic translation of the captions that have been put by Chinmoy Prabhu with a little help from the friends. Means there are checks, he's got checks and balances with Subhasini Devidasi and others. And he's been putting these captions, which are very helpful. And now we see that YouTube, you can translate these captions quite well. We tested it with Dutch because we have Pandita and Sachi Devi here from Holland. So we just tested what was there in Dutch. And they were quite impressed with how it gave the translation. So that is very helpful. So for Leelavati and others whose English is not so good and not so flowing in one's mother language, of course, is going to be the best way, to get to more clearly understand things. And so do take note, it is possible. And if anybody wants to know how to do it, when Nazar can send you the information. I can also send you the information. He made it very clear with just a couple of screenshots. Or search on YouTube how to do automatic translation. I'm sure YouTube itself will explain its own glories if we now we know it does it. But that was something interesting. So that for the Latvian speaking, for the Lithuanian speaking, for the Ukrainian speaking, then it's translating, and for the Dutch speaking. And there aren't so many Dutch speaking people, surely, are there? But it's got Dutch. Hare Krishna. So it is helpful and must be in Portuguese. I mean, I had many languages. I think Albanian. I mean, who speaks Albanian? Albanians, okay. But it's not a main, I don't think it's a mainstream language, with all due respect. I'm sure when you live in Albania, like in every country, we feel it's the center of the world. But excuse me, any Albanians are here. But it's just by the point. It's not a mainstream language, but it was available. Hare Krishna. Yes, and for our Brazilians who are with us, by the way, then Anu Krishna Devirasi, she's on her way. She's probably in the departure lounge now, waiting for her flight back. But I'm sure she's going to flow with lots of happy stories. She was doing service like continuously, and what an exemplary service mood for everyone, for the devotees. And my appreciation to all of you, like who sent some special messages a couple of weeks ago on a certain day. And I've not been able to reply to everybody personally by everyone's kindness. And there was a bit of a tsunami and I got a bit flooded. So please excuse my inefficiency, but my appreciation, my gratitude, my appreciation for the good hearts of each of you. And this is, as we started today's Zoom, it's mutual assistance to each other. It's Machita Makata Prana. We are not just ourselves and Krishna or ourselves and Guru, but it is each of us helping each other in the different particular ways on the team of devotion and the team of keeping ourselves Krishna-centered. Hare Krishna. So really, we're just again looking here. I have a witness. Paramatma is my witness and Ishwarananda Prabhu here. But we're looking through everyone's names. It's a joy to see everyone's names, even those of you who are not hiding, but don't have the camera on. And Saumya Sham Prabhu, I just want to say, yesterday, you slipped away quietly, and I think I was in the shower at the moment you did leave, and I came out and came back out, and you already slipped away quietly from the festival here. So just wanted to just send appreciation for everything that you were doing, that Vijayananda Prabhu was doing, that everybody's serving so nicely under the team coordination of Saraswati, who's Saraswati Devirasi managing the ashram here. And really everybody so like commenting of how well organized it was. Agreed? Yes.
Yes. Dhanyavad Maharaj, it was a very wonderful experience to be there with everybody, and the team there are phenomenal for their service, ongoing service and enthusiasm. And even today to see that they're Harinam today is fantastic. So, and everybody there was so in a strong mood and a strong energy and so enthusiastic. It was very easy to be part of it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody has their part to play in a festival just by being in a festival. If there are no devotees, then where's the festival? And so definitely appreciate plus. appreciate the presence, appreciate the service, appreciate the mood, appreciate everything about all the participants of the festival. Hare Krishna. All right, so we are going to continue here, and today, Monday Zoom, we are here happily with each of you from the suitable time zone. This is a suitable time zone for Europe heading west, and some of the Zooms are not. And so we're happy that we've also got this opportunity to have in Portuguese and in Russian simultaneous translation. Oh, maybe I was speaking too fast this week. I try to be conscious to speak a little slower. I was a little unconscious this week. Sorry about that. All right, so dear devotees, please be conscious and remind me to be conscious this week about Krishna, as well as the devotees, or the devotees as well as Krishna, whichever way around you want to say it, because it is actually an inseparable consciousness. And let us be grateful to be engaged in service, headed by chanting the holy names of the Lord, serving the Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna, and telling others about Krishna. These are the things: to chant the names, to worship the Lord, to share the treasure of life, dhana, prana dhana, with others. Jai Shri Gurudev, Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj, Shri Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai. Jai Shri Vishwarenya Shri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Harinama Sankirtan ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. And to all the worldwide devotees ki Jai. All the assembled Vaishnavas ki Jai. To Kumkum Devidasi, our senior most devotee here, and happily with us and keeping an eye on us, all of us children. Kumkum Devidasi ki Jai. And Nitai, Gaura, Premanandi, Hari, Hari Bol. And the chat in the chat box. Oh, how is Devashish Prabhu? Yes, he's much better. And he's still in some difficulty, and his surgery is awaiting. But he was it goes up and down, the difficulties. But he was better, and he was here for the Saturday program. And yesterday, the Sunday program, he led in the London temple. And I did look, he's not with us here today, but he is feeling better. So the prayers and good wishes of you all are much appreciated, but do keep them coming, because he's not, as they say, he's not out of the woods. It's an English expression, means he's still facing many difficulties. And this is the world we live in, unfortunately. All right, dear devotees, my repeated obeisances and obeisances to each. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha viprasindubhya eva cha pathanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj. Ami Ashchi, Amra Ashchi.
Jai Shri Bhakti Ranjam Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Oh, Madhurananda Prabhu, Govinda Govinda. Hari Hari Bo.